sexist hate groups like BLM, the KKK, Me Too, and the LGBTQ pride community. These are very specifically hate groups. See, while I am not a heterosexual, I'm also not a homosexual. Now, technically, I do actually fit in under them qualifications. LGBT and Q, of course. What do these stand for? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because they don't actually stand for those things. You get yourself a homosexual. He's just a homosexual. He's a human being like the rest of us. Now, when that human being like the rest of us is pissed off because I won't suck his... That's not something against gay people. That's not me trying to say that all gay people must be evil just because I won't suck on a winky. This is insanity, people. White people, white people, white people, men. Can you not take responsibility for your own stupidity? Out of those groups, all of them are equally disgusting. Like Zayd Atkinson and BLM selling a racist narrative that literally gets homeless people killed, all because he wanted to win. He wanted to get some money. Well, he got some money, didn't he? Didn't do any good for anybody else in the community. All he cared about was him. Just like Darren O'Connor, Sammy Leon Lawrence IV. Not one person who claimed to be my friend ever showed themselves to be my friend. How about instead of arguing with the fucking victim, you help them turn it in? Instead of being selfish, sexist. But you can't help it, can you? You are too busy feeling sorry for yourself, because obviously nobody can ever know what it's like to be picked on. I'm gay. Nobody else knows what it's like to be picked on for being gay. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Let me explain something to you. You go throwing your sexuality in everybody's face. That's your fault. It's your fault. Whether you are gay or straight doesn't make any difference. That behavior is inappropriate. Not that you care. You have any idea how many homosexual men just in the last 2 months, rather than helping me, they wanted to focus on my penis? No, Ariana, I'm not interested. No, Wraith, I'm not interested. No means no. No means no, Lana Engeline. No means no. No means no, Nicole Gerald. When I tell you no, I am not okay with you stabbing me in the butt with a carrot, that does not mean stab me in the butt with Carrotzilla. When I say, hey, I'm going to sleep in my spot, it's 30 feet away, so it's close enough I can hear you if you scream. That doesn't mean come over in the middle of the night and put your hands down my pants. Then, of course, there's Bo. Bo was friends with, well, some people who were supposed to be friends of mine too. Ken Wilson and Leah Plunkett. He left because Ken Wilson and Leah Plunkett ain't good people. But instead of speaking up, he wanted to unabashedly make a play for my penis. No means no. Do you not get that? No means no. You want to tell me about boundaries? There are none. You have zero boundaries, zero respect for other human beings. If they're not part of your chosen victims group, that's what I got to call it now, a drama group. You're playing victim. Playing victim. Ariana got what she deserved because of alcoholism and cruelty. Bo got what he deserved because of alcohol and cruelty. It's not because these people are gay. It has to do with their belief that saying no does not apply to them. It doesn't apply to Ariana. It didn't apply to Nicole Jarrell. My boundaries don't matter to any of you. You will not respect my boundaries. You will bullshit me for months on end, and then what do? Play stupid. Well, that's stupid, especially since I record everything. Maybe instead of trying to make a play for my nuts from hundreds of miles away, Bo should have actually done the right thing. Perhaps instead of making a play for my balls from hundreds of miles away, Ariana could, I don't know, do the right thing. But no, I end up getting told what I owe because I'm not a cocksucker. Should I have to be? Is that a necessity? Is it required of me to perform fellatio in order to be a friend? In the entirety of my life, I have never, ever tried to make a woman feel like she owed it to me to have sex with me. Matter of fact, I am disgusted by the number of women that I have helped out that thought that meant that they should have sex with me. No, I helped you out because you came to me and said, hey, my husband is an abusive a-hole, and I'm afraid for me and my kids. Will you help me move? You didn't call me up and say, hey, Sean, I need help moving. If you help me move, I'll put out. You didn't say, oh, Sean, if you help me move, I'm going to expect you to put out. Meanwhile, my demographics show that 94% of the people that are viewing my channel are age 36 to 44, and 96% of them are female, and 64% of them live in the United States. An additional 15% live in a little town called the UK, apparently. Uck. We'll just call it Uck. It works. Now we've got these hate groups. You notice I haven't focused on the KKK yet. I may not focus on the KKK. They have had plenty of focus. They've had enough focus that every white person in the country does have to be afraid. Any minority can harm us and then claim it's a race crime, it's a hate crime, it's because they're gay. Well, I stick up for gay people. I don't stick up for people who can't take no for an answer. If I say no, no means no. Wraith had himself a 10-year plan for turning me gay. It didn't work. Poor guy. You can't force somebody to be gay. Forcing them to engage in homosexual activities is a sex crime. So don't do it. Don't do it. You guys get to see plain and clear, night and day, that this is all sexist. It's got nothing to do with right or wrong. What it's got to do with is popularity. Sure, you'll give me pretty words. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, you mean like the Scudders? You mean like Mandy Hughes? You mean like Alyssa Rainwater? Really? Uh-uh. Between finding out what's going on and treating me like hell, people chose to treat me like hell. Primarily because of cowardice. On the bright side, I didn't make any of you cowards. Y'all want to tell me about how you're afraid? Well, I'll speak up about it. If you didn't keep your word after wasting all my resources, then you need to come forward about why you didn't. Why did you waste my resources? Why did you make empty promises? Why did you take my money for goods and services you did not render? Why did you take advantage of an at-risk adult? It's called cowardice. It's called selfishness. It's called greed. We get to see how BLM wants to turn a blind eye. Turn a blind eye when these crimes are committed by black folks. It's only wrong if it's committed by a white person. Well, hold on a second here. That's not equality. It's only wrong if a white person does it to a black person. Well, that's not equality either. Maybe you should think before you start spreading racist narratives. Why are there a whole bunch of black people getting killed here in the United States by police? Because they're homeless. The majority of the black folks incarcerated were homeless when they were arrested. Dang. But then again, BLM doesn't want to acknowledge that. Just like Me Too doesn't want to acknowledge that the people most likely to be preyed upon sexually are out on the streets. In some places, a homeless woman has an average of being raped 5 times in a month. 5 times every month. Now, sure, there are women there that nobody does that to, and then there are women there who are stuck in it. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. You just have to take it. Unfortunately, for your narrative, it doesn't just happen to girls. Who has it worse out on the streets, men or women? Men, by a lot. By a lot. Right and wrong don't matter in this country, though, does it? What matters is your gender, your looks, your money, and joining a hate group. I wonder how many black people would be free today if black people would fight for homeless rights. I wonder how many women out here on the streets would get raped less if we fought for all the victims instead of selling this sexist narrative that only men can be predators and only women can be victims. Y'all killed a lot of people I love and care about. And yeah, many of them are racist and sexist, I'll admit that. I will wholeheartedly admit that. Yes, Christine Bouhiet was racist, but she tried to keep it in check. She tried to treat black people like people, regardless of the fact that she didn't like them. That includes Mark Swanigan. Unlike most of y'all racists, she was aware of it. She was aware of the bias that she held. She was also aware that it was wrong. So why did she continue? She didn't. She didn't treat black people badly. She had bad experiences with black folks. Not sure if you've ever heard of Chicago. And so she's afraid of them. With what we've been seeing on the news, BLM and all this crap, who wouldn't be? You have to be afraid that a black man can literally murder you and get away with it by pretending that you was racist. All lives matter. All of them. Even if the person is straight. Even if the person is white. Even if the person is a male. Even if the person is broke or homeless. If Me Too would fight for the homeless, they'd be fighting for the victims. If BLM would fight for the homeless, they'd be fighting for the victims. If KKK fought for the homeless, they'd be fighting for the victims. Many of y'all think that because I'm white, I must be a part of the KKK. You think the KKK wants Jews in their ranks? No, they don't. BLM sees me as a white guy. The KKK sees me as a Jew. Me Too sees me as a walking rapist. Why? Because of things that are not my choice. Nationalism is a horrible prejudice. Horrible. You think you're better than someone else because of your geographic location at birth? This ain't your land. You ain't allowed to live on it. Did you know that you spend more hours working today than slaves were allowed to be worked? When we had slavery in this country, oh yeah, we never got rid of slavery. Instead, we made every black person in America homeless. Sorry, every black Southerner homeless all at once. Made a bunch of laws that were anti-homeless. And to this day, it's still used against the black community, who, as a whole, wants to ignore history. You want to manufacture a false narrative and a false history that makes you out to be the victim. You don't need to do that. You were the victims. Were. Now you're getting targeted because of poverty, as always. And you're wanting to sell a racist narrative. Sure, it was started because of racism. But it doesn't just affect black people. I'm tired of your racism. I'm tired of your sexism. I'm tired of a woman being allowed to destroy a man's life. And then all she's got to do is tell one of the 3 lies. Doesn't matter if it's true. Nobody cares if it's true. We are taught to hate. Just like those who join BLM have been taught to hate. They have been taught that anything bad that happens to a black person must be a white person's fault. And not any specific white person. It's okay to go out and take it out on any white person at random. Except they're not going out and picking some white person at random, are they? Are these BLM hate mongers going out and getting the exact person who did them wrong? No, they're finding a white broke person, probably homeless, or, and this is the real kicker, or another black person who is homeless. You know, there's a simple solution. A whole lot of guns. We arm every black person in America. We arm every woman in America. We arm every homeless person in America. And we defend each other's rights. Actually defend them. But you won't do that. You'll watch your neighbor hang. You and the LGBT community will ignore any and all crimes that happen to anybody else because to you only the LGBT community matters. Just like MMIW, only indigenous community matters to that group. None of the rest of us exist. To this day, I haven't seen MMIW post up about not one single black woman. Not one single white woman. And all the homeless people I've seen them speak out about was completely on accident. If they'd have known those women were homeless, they would have looked the other way, same as the rest of you. There are a lot of homeless natives whose deaths prove exactly that. Are you fighting for the victims, or are you fighting for a racist narrative? Are you fighting to stop police violence, or only against black people? Are you fighting for actual equality, or are you fighting for you to have special rights? When you teach every black person in the country that anything wrong that happens to them must be because somebody's white, those kids are going to go out and use that as an excuse when they do bad stuff. Oh, it's all right for me to go be a thief or a murderer, because my parents will step up and say, oh, he was targeted because he's the wrong color. Really? That's gross. Meanwhile, I don't have a group I can go to for help. Without family or a friend who actually cares. And that's what each and every one of these people is on my Facebook and YouTube exposed for being a fake. You want to talk about LGBT rights, and you post up about how no means no, but when I tell you that I am not interested, you push it more and more and more. You only call me when you're drunk and horny. And you want to play victim? No. Not okay. I don't owe it to you to be racist. I don't owe it to you to be sexist. I don't owe it to you to be a liar. I don't owe any of that to you. I do not owe it to you to go join the KKK just because I have white skin. You think it's hard for a black person to be able to vote? You should see how difficult it is for the homeless. Oh, we got somebody trying to sell their sex sites on here. What do? Take a screenshot. And then, of course, oh, come on now. Hide user on this channel. Blam. You see how easy that is? If only it were that easy in real life. Women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers than men here in the United States. Men are anywhere between 6 and 26 times more likely to be convicted, however. When a man is being victimized and gang stalked by a woman and her friends, he is completely alone. Completely alone. Take a look at Catherine Bieta-Vallis. I never did her wrong, ever. Was always good to her. After Natalie was killed, she threw me away like I was nothing. No reason whatsoever. None. She did make sure to treat me like shit on the way out. Just like the rest of you. Cowards, every single one. The LGBT community as a racist hate group, as a sexist hate group. It's a group of people who feel that they are superior to the rest of us and deserve special treatment. Between you as a faculty member at CU, who has been there for 20 years, and your child has cancer, what are the chances that CU insurance is going to cover your children's cancer? It's really not that good. It's also really expensive and really not that good. Your chances, if your child has cancer, there's a very small list of cancers that they cover. And they only cover specific stages of that cancer. Then again, if you are a janitor who's worked there for 2 weeks, you specifically got the job because you want CU to pay for a sex change. And you know that their insurance will pay to have your equipment removed and have a new set installed. So you go get that job for 2 weeks. You do your stuff to get your insurance up and going. After you've been there 6 months, you get your sex change. Costs almost $1 million to the taxpayers, because really it is the taxpayers paying for that. And then after you get your sex change, you quit your job. It's called abusing the system. Just like Zayd Atkinson playing the racist narrative. Just like BLM playing the racist narrative. Just like Darren O'Connor being a lying POS. Helping out only the minorities in houses. Ignoring the other victims. The victims who were homeless did not matter. He made sure to let us all know that we don't matter. Once he got what he wanted, he stabbed every one of us in the back. You are all disgusting people. Your racism, your sexism, your excuses. It's wrong to do it to a black man, but it's okay to do it to a white man. That is racist. Not one of you watching my channel are good people. Not one. Not a single one of you are good people. You are horrible excuses for human beings. You don't deserve your special rights. You deserve to be treated how you treat us. That's equality. You cowards.